Hey up everybody, Betty's back. Right, today, this really is a nice simple one. I'd seen this ingredient a few weeks ago and I bought it and I'd sort of forgot about it. And it is cheesy German spatzel and with caramelized onions, and I'm going to serve it with some German bratwurst sausage. Really, very few ingredients, very simple. So, I'll show you the ingredients and we'll get cracking. Right, as I said, I got this a few weeks back in Lidl's, I think it was. It's German spatzel, and you want about 255 grams, 9 ounces of that. You would need 375 grams of Emmental cheese, but if you haven't got Emmental, just use what you have. So you really want a melty cheese like a Gruyere, or but you can do a mixture of that with cheddar, whatever you've got in really. But I went and I managed to get some Emmental to make it a bit more authentic. Some salt and pepper. There's 2 small onions there, 1 large one, and 60 grams of butter. And I'm serving that with, just like I said, some German bocwurst. So, we'll get cracking. Right, okay, so I've got my spatzel on into a pan of boiling salted water. So once that comes up to the boil, which it is doing, I'm going to turn that down and cook that for approximately 12 minutes. And that should be done, so I'll set the timer for that. Just let it simmer away for 12 minutes. And in our frying pan, I've put the whole lot of butter in there. I know it looks like a lot, but this is to caramelise. You've got to get them nicely caramelised. So that's the onions going into there. So basically we want to get them and get them a little bit of colour on them. So that's going to take a little bit of time. So I'll come back when it's a bit closer to being completed and the pasta is done, the spatzel. So while that's frying away, I forgot, you just add a little bit of seasoning to these while it's caramelising. So a little bit of salt. And a little bit of pep. Lovely. Give it a stir about. And we're just going to keep cooking those until we get some colour, which may take a little bit of time. So I'll come back in a second. Okay, so my pasta, my spatzel is now cooked. The onions, I've got some nice colour on there, that's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to drain both and set them aside just to cool down a little bit. If you was making it in real time, you see I'm going to do this, I'm going to make it, let this cool down, put it into the dish, and then I'm going to bake it when I come home later on this evening. If you was doing it now, you just put it, basically drain this, drain that into your casserole dish. But I'll show you the bit to do that anyway. But I'll just drain these off for now and I'll come back in a second. Right, so I have put the spatzel into my casserole baking dish here, along with the caramelised onions. I'm just going to give it a bit of a mix together. And then I'm going to dump 3/4 of the cheese. I mean, it's still warmish at this minute, but it's going to get baked later. So, right, so that's the caramelised onion. You want 3/4 of this cheese to go into the mix, holding back the remaining for the topping. Like I say, you can use different cheese if you want as well. I think that's probably about right. So you just mix that together. Make sure it's all nicely incorporated. I say this is a traditional sort of German spatzel dish with caramelised onions. Can be served as a side dish, but Emmental's a good melting cheese So that should melt quite nicely.
It's not a strong cheese either.
It's not very strong, no. So if you wanted a bit more flavour in there, you could add something with a bit more flavour, maybe some Gruyere or something in there.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking if you don't like...
Yeah, if you don't like Emmentaler, you can mix it with cheddar and something else, Gruyere, whatever, and have the same amount. The sausages, they simply boil for about 10, not boil, they simmer for about 10 minutes. And they're cooked. So they're already cooked, you're just warming them through. So I'm going to leave that for now, because that's for the topping, which I'll put on later once it's cooled right down. So I'll catch you guys when I finish work tonight. It'll be a nanosecond for yous. Right everybody, I'm back. So I've put the remainder of the Emmental on, and I've also grated some pecorino on the top, because you want a nice cheesy crust for this. So this is going to go in the big cassoulet at 180 fan, that's 180 fan, so otherwise 200 for 25 minutes, but I will keep an eye on that. And I'll put this in next, and then I will get my bockwurst on as well. Right, okay, so because this cassoulet is quite powerful, I've put it in at 180 on air fry for 10 minutes, and I'm going to see how that goes after that, and we'll see how much longer we need. So I've got all that ready to go, Grand Zone, and away we go. So we'll come back and check on it in 10 minutes. Time to put the bockwurst in now. Right, so that's those in. You just want to gently simmer them for about 10 minutes. You're just warming them up basically. So that should be finished about the same time as the spatzel. Right, so it's had its 10 minutes. It's definitely not as golden as I would like, so I'm going to put it in, back in, same again. Just going to drop the temperature again to 180. What I'll do is I'll put it in for another 8 minutes and see what it's like. So I'll come back in a second. Right, so Man's just mentioned about the grill, it might go a bit better, so I'll see if I can get how far I can get this down. 205, so I'm just going to put that on for 5 minutes and keep my eyes on it. So it is on the grill function now rather than the air fry, and hopefully that'll get a crispier top. Right, so it's out. The 5 minutes under the grill has worked. You've got a nice cheesy crispy topping there. So I'll serve this up and we'll have a taste test. So give us 1 second and I will find a spoon. Right, second. So let's just have a little dig into this. Crispy bits on the top and on the edges, yeah. Let's just see. And cheesy underneath. Oops. Just grab those 2 little bits if I can. And right, I need a fork. Grab one of my bockwursts. Like I say, these are already cooked. You're just warming these through basically. So there, let's have a look. There we have it. That is my cheesy spatzel with caramelized onions and bockwurst. So, you know what time it is? It's triple tea time. Right, let's get digging in. So I'm going to try some. It's lovely and crispy on the top. When you first take them out of the packet, they're like, you know, like them crisps you get. What they call like the chips, the little chip sticks that you used to be able to get, proper potato ones. But obviously when you cook it, it goes soft, but it's gone lovely and crispy on the top with that cheese. You can hear that crunch. I think it could maybe done with a bit more cheese running through it. It's not dry, but it could have done with a bit more cheese just to give it that bit more ooze. But I was following the recipe, so you can taste the crispy onion in there as well. The caramelised onion. That is lovely. Right. Let's try this bockwurst. That's lovely. A bit like a giant hot dog, smoked but tasty. Try the combo. Have them both. I say this can be, it's usually served as a side dish, this, I think. But for us it's perfect. Very, very tasty. Very, very tasty. That's really nice. Right, so thank you everybody for watching. It is very much appreciated. Keep all your comments coming. Keep all your recipe ideas coming. And just keep watching. It really, really helps us. Oh, there's a little fly buzzing about on top of the camera.
Food flies, I'm sick of it.
Right, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.